And you also get $1,000 cash to split across the team. The second prize is $1,000 cash to spread across the team, but you don't need to prove your solution for that one. And last but definitely not least is we've got a combined prize here from PTC and Beyond Essentials, which includes an internship with Beyond Essentials. You'll get $5,000 as a stipend. That'll be spread across the team as well, to actually work with Beyond Essentials on one of their humanitarian case studies that they've got going on. So they're the amazing prizes that you will be working hard to do all this weekend. Next up, what do you need to include? This is where it comes in the criteria. I want to point out to you that on our website, there is all the rules. The official rules are up on the website under the FAQs. I've pretty much just scraped that from here. But what we've got here, your solution needs to cover a few key points. This is what the judges will be looking for. The first one, does your solution address the problem? You really need to really consider what the problem is and how is it connected to what your solution is. You need to use know-how, engineering skills. It needs to be innovative and original. So don't just say that you're going to create a bridge. We want to see the schemes, we want to see the drawings, we want to see the design. Have a look at the pitch videos that won. They did little examples of it to show what the actual solution looks like. So include that level of design in your solution. It needs to be environmentally sound. If you have innovation that actually impacts the planet, that is not a solid innovation in our opinion. So you really need to make sure it doesn't hurt the earth. It needs to be practical from cost. If your solution is to put a satellite into space, that might be a brilliant solution, but it's not cost effective. So you need to consider the reality of your solution. And while you're there, can it be delivered by by an organization such as Red R? Is the solution deliverable? And last, but very much not least, is you need to consider vulnerable populations. A solution that doesn't consider gender, a solution that doesn't consider the disabled in the community, or the elderly in the community, or the young in the community, is not going to be a very sustainable solution for the entire community. So you need to make sure you cover off the entire population. That's a lot to consider, but we know it can be done, and we know you guys are up for the challenge. Now, last night, we threw you a mini challenge. It was maybe slightly terrifying for everyone involved, including the organisers. But what I wanted to do was test our submission process. And you guys did admirably. I have to admit, most of you had to do the late Dropbox link, but that's not going to be available to you tomorrow. You'll see on the screen there that there's a two-step submission process. The first one is this form. We're going to post this form in the Slack channel, and it will actually lead you through the process. So you need to enter your team ID code. It'll already be pre-populated there, so you just select it from the drop-down. What's your team name? Always let us know that. Here you're going to identify if you're a digital solution, if it's a yes or a no. It doesn't affect your chance at the finals. We just need to know if you're going to cover off as a PTC. Then you put the name of your submission. I want that name to include your team ID. If you're O1W, make sure that's the front of your file name. And then you'll see there, excuse me, there's a link to the Dropbox. That link will close at 2 p.m. You need to start uploading around 1 o'clock. Please don't leave it to the last minute. You need to get that link out of that Google form, open up that Dropbox and upload your video. It may take a little while. As you saw last night, sometimes it doesn't happen straight away. So give yourself enough time to load your video into that Dropbox file. Then you press submit and we'll get your form. Please just fill it out once. If you do it more, it gets very confusing on this end, and we have a very short amount of time to turn all these videos around because we're going to get to the judging. I think I have that page twice. There we go, judging process. There's a two-step process here. The first one, just the reason we have two steps is because we have about 40 videos of 5 minutes duration. That's nearly 3 hours of video watching for our poor judges. So what we've done is we've split it into a preliminary judging step as number one. And the teams that we have, you guys will be broken into 8 groups, and these will be groups on Slack. You won't get invited to this Slack channel until Sunday around lunchtime. It'll be a locked channel, so only you can attend that Slack channel. And when you get in there at 2:30 on Sunday, you will discover that there is a Google form in there. You only need to submit one Google form, but every participant must submit a form. If we discover that a participant hasn't done this preliminary judging, we're going to have to take some points away from your own team. So it is mandatory that you do this step. In the Slack channel, you'll have the Google form. In that Slack channel will also be a link to a folder on Dropbox. In that folder, there will be around 5 videos for you to watch. So when you watch those videos, take note of who you want to be first place and second place. That Google form will just simply ask you first and second. You enter the team name, and that's all you need to do. Once those have been submitted, we are then going to the second stage of our judging, which is with our official judges, who you met earlier this morning. They are going to view the 10 finalists through the HACKLIVE link. So everyone back into the HACKLIVE page, because you'll be able to see who the 10 finalists are. We'll run through those, and the judges will deliberate and actually come up with the winners of the 4 prizes that I've already mentioned. That is everything that I have to say for now about the actual process of submission and what's required of your video. It's a 5-minute video, maximum 5 minutes. Please do not go over that. And I'll just hit the questions here. Can we make a PowerPoint instead of a video is the first question that I've got. Short answer, no. But slightly to add to that, Tanil in a couple of hours is going to have her how-to 10 minutes. And one of the things that you can do with PowerPoint is convert it into a video. And so we do want to see videos, not PowerPoints. We can't play those as easily. And so if you go to that session at 1 o'clock, and she will be able to show you how to convert a PowerPoint to a movie. What's the number one thing we should present in our submissions? There's no one thing. You should definitely present a solution, but there's a multitude of ways of things to include in that solution that we already went through, that criteria. I would suggest that in your video, you present the problem and the solution as well. So the why, the what, the who, the how, all that sort of jazz. Make sure you include that in your submission, because the judges are looking at this. They may not be 100% the case studies. They need to know what the problem is that you're presenting, that you're tackling, and how your solution relates to that, and how that affects the community as a whole. So make sure you include that. What if our video won't upload in time? It is a 2 o'clock cutoff. It has to be strict, because at 2:30, we're actually turning that all around. Well, by 2:30, we have to turn that around. So if you're running late, then flag it with your team mentor. There'll probably be a 5-minute wriggle room, but honestly, start loading at 1:30 so you give yourself time to accommodate any technical difficulties. The pitch winner solutions, the pitch winner videos were uploaded last night into the announcements channel. You should see that. The winner and the runner-up, they were excellent submissions. You'll see the quality that can be done in the middle of the COVID lockdown. Those videos were created around March and April, and they were done brilliantly. So I really think the benchmark's been put quite high by those 2 submissions. So check them out. Due tomorrow, 2 p.m. That's correct. 2 p.m. on the dot. That's 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check that out. Oh, Is this session recorded, Tanil? Is it recorded? I think so. I don't know if we'll be able to put it up straight away though, because it's all. I will be putting up my slide deck though, so that covers off, you know, all the nice points without my extra waffle around. How much should we focus on the prototypes versus the implementation plan and community impact? You have 5 people in your team ideally. I would suggest delegation is the key here. I'm not expecting you to have a prototype that is robust. I think one year we saw a prototype that was made out of Play-Doh or clay. The girls that won, they had a PVC pipe. If it's a technical solution, even just screen images of what the app or whatever it is looks like. We're not expecting War and Peace here. We're not expecting a fully functional prototype. You've got 2 days. We're going to be realistic. Even a sketch of what the pages will look like. Things like that. We're going to be realistic. Do your best. Use your team. Everyone in your team should be busy. Everyone in your team should have a clear purpose. Down from the person who is responsible for creating your submission to the person who's sitting here right now listening to me talk about what needs to be included in those submissions, and the people, one person could be doing a prototype, one person could be designing the other sides of things and doing the research. So work as a team. Well, one more has popped in. Is working a software viewed preferred to a mock-up? We're not going to rate. If you've got a working solution versus a mock-up, you know, we're not going to give the extra points, because we're aware that some people have skills and others don't. So it's more of a situation of do the best you can. We will see that your inspiration to do good, your challenge to help in a humanitarian crisis will come through on the best of your ability. That's all we can ask for. And so if you've got the mad skills that you can whip up some sort of software, go for it. But if that's not in your toolbox, then do the best you can and present it in a nice way that we see that your passion and your love for this case study shines through. If there's any other further chats, you can always ask an organizer on the Slack channel. Where else can you go? There'll be posts going up on the announcement for the links. Keep an eye on Slack is basically the moral of the story. Thank you. Thank you for your time. My name's Melanie. I'm the project manager of the Warren Centre, and I've enjoyed this moment with you.